Welcome to the Future Blockchain Summit 2025, Web3 TV here. I'm your host, Aya Dikiros, and today I'm joined with
Brian Keane of DiaGen AI. How are you? I'm back.
He is indeed, and that was a couple of months back. A lot of key developments since, as you know, in tech, everything changes by the millisecond. There's something new, there's an update, and I think it has something to do with integrating blockchain. I heard. I don't want to get in the way of.
We'll save the best for last, of course.
The narrative, indeed. So please, just reintroduction of what you're building and what you have in store in the future.
Absolutely. So first, thank you to everyone at Web3. It's a pleasure been talking to you, and my third time being interviewed by you guys. So really excited about telling you about where we're at. But just to keep everyone up to speed, we're a Canada-based AI drug discovery company, and we've been coming to Dubai now for the last year and a half. I had started in the company as a original investor because that's my main business. I am a non-scientist, but I am definitely a technology and discovery type of investor where I tried to move where the next generation of technology and AI is going. And so we had backed as a team a group of scientists out of UBC, which is the University of British Columbia in Canada, to address certain verticals that have a very high failure rate, but at the same time also have a very big data set, and that's the area of blockchain, area of pharmaceuticals and biotech. And so we have three divisions. And a asset development division where we focus on longevity. So we use our computational power and our AI science to develop new molecules, peptides, biomarkers. And then we also have, we were talking about earlier, a area where we don't compete with other AI drug discovery companies. We collaborate, right? And so that's one of our unique sort of attributes and an ability for us to drive revenue, which is what we call AI as a partner. So right now, we think that out of the 13,000 plus small, medium-sized biotechs that are out there that are driven by wet lab science, trial and error, need to switch from biotech to tech bio, and DiaGen is there to solve those technical problems that they have, but get them as soon as possible into the AI-first model to find and optimize what they're building, so that we can have an economic interest as well.
Exactly. I think you've semi-answered what I wanted to ask about. Are you competing with pharma, or are you joining the club? Sort of where are you in between? Talk to me a little bit more about that, and really just going back to the root of it all, the origin story, how you began.
Yeah, and like I said, I was an investor. One of those things was we had a very good, because track record matters. We've had several exits before. In weapons detection, in other areas like auto DevOps, all of these companies have successfully been publicly traded.
Right.
And so when I found out, being a former healthcare investment banker, of what the binary results of large clinical trials and other things, we definitely wanted to start utilizing our AI prowess in those companies and to build our own assets, but also do some other things where we can help out the underserved biotechnology companies, because we've been interviewing them and we have a pipeline now of those companies and asking them, when are you? And if you don't have AI right now, what are you going to be forced to do?
Right.
Whether it be buy or build. So a lot of these companies will not build, and they need to have a partner, and that's where DiaGen AI comes in.
Would you say that is your biggest or your main approach coming into the game? What kind of really sets you apart, and what are the main pain points that, I mean, obviously you've run down the full bit, but if you were to just put it into certain markers, what are those specific pain points that you feel like nobody can really compete with you today, even in the future?
No doubt. So it's a really good question, because I think in many ways, the biologists and chemists, they first at times were fearful of AI, like they're going to be replaced, right? And the fact of the matter is, if they want to advance their science or optimize their assets or drugs or molecules, they need to embrace AI in a big way. And so education is a key factor.
100%.
These professionals now are saying to themselves, if we don't have it today, we're going to be left behind. And one of the things that I recently did in speaking at the World Health AI conference in London previously, about 2 weeks ago, was the fact that a lot of these companies, they're not going to build their own compute power. They're not going to go out and hire a computational scientist, an AI professional. Some of them are starting to do that, but what is the nexus of what they're going to do in terms of finding that person, going out to hire them, because the talent in this space right now is quite scarce, right? So we think we can make an impact on helping scale our compute to service those companies, obviously drive revenue up front, but while they hit milestones, they have the ability to, we can both win at the same time together. And then what's more is we want to have an economic interest in that asset that we help build with our AI. So we don't have to do the long tail biotech. Our partners can leverage our AI as a catalyst, be able to raise capital, finish their trials, and obviously use us to get them started in the AI strategy that they always want to do and they have to do absolutely in the future.
I think, again, with AI, we were talking about earlier, meeting that trifecta of efficiency in terms of speed, in terms of being up to date and being able to verify the data and everything you have coming across. And you see that, again, with a lot of, as you said, the gap between folks who are new to an industry, folks who are a bit too old, and you're trying to find the sweet spot in the middle. So it's not really replacing anybody, but just, again, finding that efficiency spot wherein everybody wins.
Yeah, the differentiator is the human capital, too. So our scientists have been doing this for broader, in the broader sense, for 20 years. Our chief AI officer has been doing it for 10 years now. He has successfully, in his academic area, has had the ability to build new molecules. He actually has, economic interest personally in that. So we want to do that under our umbrella. We want to do it not just in North America, but globally. That's why we're scaling and continue to do work here in Dubai, which I think is really important, because a lot of what's happening here in Dubai is not happening in the other areas in the world, right?
What does that mean?
Well, I think, I'm a U.S. guy, right? And our company's in North America, but the U.S. and other areas, and no offense to my own country, but we have to catch up a bit. If we walk around the floor here, we have about 4 football fields of technology.
And then some.
And it's amazing what we're seeing. And we want to be part of that because we want to be relevant, not just in our own backyard, but globally. Because I'll tell you about that little surprise we're talking about, democratized and decentralized intelligence. It's really global, right? How do we make impact on global drug discovery and have the ability to attract, not compete, but attract big pharma to smaller companies, because they're the hunting ground for new advancements in drug discovery, and that's where we come in.
I think you're trying to find a bit more balance here, because it seems like the weight is way heavy on one side, if you know, and you're just trying to keep it fair game, fair play. And again, at the end, it seems like, in a fair world, at least, that everybody wins. Yeah,
that's what we're looking for, is a win-win, and then ultimately the impact, right? And so that's something we're really excited about. And we're turning that into revenue, which obviously helps us grow, but also leads to quicker, as we discussed before, more accelerated, de-risked, and obviously more certain, right? Investors and practitioners want certainty in their research, and that's where we come in.
Trend that is happening now that you feel like people aren't talking about enough, maybe an underrated trend still nonetheless, trend by the data from a technical standpoint?
Of course.
What is it that we're not talking about now that you are so passionate about that we should be putting more focus on, and you feel like is even more relevant, is going to be even more relevant in the years to come?
Yeah, so we're actually seeing it at the big pharma level, where they're availing smaller companies their data sets. And this is something I was talking about 3 or 4 years ago first. And then second is understanding how we can democratize the data in a better way, right? So we talk about, obviously, Web3 and tokenization. Everything is now about, and it's a retrade on tokenization, but it's now becoming a reality. And so we just announced previously this year, but we're now scaling even more into it, which is called the BitTensor Network.
Ooh.
That's decentralized intelligence, the intersection of AI and artificial intelligence. And it's an open system, right? And again, I don't want to get too technical here because I'm not the technical person. You can talk to my team. But at the end of the day, this incentivizes AI experts like us in our specific domain, which is drug discovery. And we've been working with a subnet 68 called Metanova Labs. They're brilliant in what they do. But kind of the real-time, thing that we're going to be talking about very soon is Metanova Lab is sitting on this unique data. And by having unique data from multiple sources that are outside the norm allows us to have an advantage in doing what we're doing in terms of commercialization. So if you haven't checked out Tau, it's traded on 100+ exchanges. It just made a huge move from 300 to I think it's trading at 420 today.
Wow.
But we think because it's built on the same tokenomics as Bitcoin, it's like buying Bitcoin at $300, $400, right?
That is huge.
Do your research, of course, right? This is not a recommendation, but we are operating in that ecosystem and we think it's the future. And by the way, we're the only company that is still doing assets. We're doing partnering and revenue, but now we're doing the decentralized data play, which makes us quite unique.
There you go. And as you said, you're talking about really high quality data that is balanced by AI and blockchain. And really with data, you know, AI and blockchain are only as good as your data. So if you've got this gold mine of data waiting for you to pounce on, then, you know, you've got the world at your feet, really.
Yeah, and it's all the buzz in North America, you know, not a political statement at all, but they're embracing it finally. They're doing more utility, and the utility and the yield of Tau and BitTensor, and to earn into that network while staking it, and by the way, potentially doing like a mini digital asset treasury play.
Okay.
So I'm sure you see all the hype around DATs, but they're happening. And they're raising significant capital to really have a foothold in this space. So
a lot of happening in the background.
About it, yeah.
A lot of happening in the background. But what's happening in your background? I mean, give us, as I ask everybody here at the end of the interview, give us some insider scoop, if you will, an exclusive to Web3 TV. You will hear it here first. Go for it.
Yeah, so there's two things. One I kind of already mentioned, which is collaborating more, not just as a miner in the BitTensor Tau ecosystem, but really figuring out how we can commercialize that data. So that's kind of the one juicy bit, if you will. The second thing is that we've been able to work with a Pacific Rim entity that is already working with that pipeline of existing wet lab biotechs. We are hoping that we're going to sign a deal with them. I'm not going to name the name of the company.
Right.
But they've just moved from Japan to Dubai, and they want to, because it's not what we want to do, it's their clients, the existing biotechs and research organizations that are telling that particular partner, we need AI today. So we're co-developing what I would call a sort of an accelerated way for them to have a mini platform that they can use and start working on and be able to scale that. So that's something that's going to create more value for our shareholders. It's going to obviously be a catalyst to get more deeper into this region, which we're super excited about.
Of course.
We have tons of meetings here while we're here at GITEX and Expand North Star. And by the way, I don't want to tap ourselves on the back, but last year we were a Supernova semifinalist, and we were able to meet with the Honorable Minister of AI here. And so they want us to come more into the region, and that's why we're back, and we're super excited about it.
Can we get a timeline on that exciting news, though? When do you think the signing is going to happen, touch wood?
Well, I would tell you this. A lot is happening between now and call it the holidays by the end of the year. And it's all about execution, right? And so while we're sitting here today at and I've kept it modest, around a $10 million valuation with being a 4-year young company, we are having executionable milestones, including the ones that I just mentioned, that are going to be very, very game-changing for us as an organization. And the capital that we need to raise is not going to just go out in one door and out the other. It's about creating a environment where we can hire some more people to execute on the revenue, but also have some boots on the ground here. So that's why we want to do some stuff here, because we're going to be able to attract talent, and then Dubai and the government can say, in a way, that a lot of what we've done here was born in Dubai, because that's what we want to see, and we want to be able to attract others into what we're building. So it's really exciting. It's probably the best decision I made to come onto the other side as a C-suite professional.
Right.
I'm an investor.
Doing an interview with us, right?
Yeah, and then you get to meet, amazing people like yourself. And, Web3 has been really, really great to us over the years. So, over the last year. So we want to come back and continue to give updates. And we're in this pivotal point where I think we're going to scale in a very, very big way.
And it sounds like you're going to have a fantastic Christmas.
Yes.
So I'm expecting a gift basket.
Absolutely.
A week prior to the Eve.
No. We're going to call it Christmas month.
Right,
okay.
Right. Let's give some buffer time there.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Very welcome.
On that, and I guess we'll catch you in the next one.
And thank you very much. Stay tuned. Bye.